on this computer. All right. So just jumping right into things here with my TS60 class. I think the first thing I want to do is take you on a little tour or so, just to kind of make sure you're all comfortable with it. How do I find things and move around in this classroom? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you kind of how it works as I let Amanda come in class here. Um, so in my class, if you look in the when you first land in my class, this is what it looks like, and this is the TS60 class. It's Math 60, and what I've done is at the very top, I've got this first little, if you wanted to call it like a module thing, I've got just some quick reference stuff. Like I did like a 2 or 3 minute video just showing you what I'm kind of showing you right now. Every week, my Zoom link will be right there, and I actually put it in every week's module as well. And then a little note on how to do well in my class, okay? And then we are in week 1. Now, you guys have figured out already how to find my Zoom link, and you figured out how to get here, so you probably kind of understand these first two things. Um, Week 1, so what I've got is I put the link for finding me on, it'll be Monday nights starting next week. Um, so that's where you can find the link. And what you can do is you can literally just click on that like I'm doing right now, and it'll open up and you can just click on Zoom link right there. Okay. Now I will also include it in just about every email I send you. So it'll be really easy for you to find it. Where's that Zoom link again? It's the same room for all my classes. And it's every time it's the same link. So um, all right, so that's obviously how to find the Zoom link. And then what I'll often have, in fact, every week of the quarter, I'll usually have videos that you can watch. Okay, so it says that's, and you'll progress through it just like this from top to bottom. That's how you go through the week. You start from the top. We were already here on a Monday night, but video, multiplication and division, that's a recording I made last year, which will be very similar to what you're about to hear to talk about tonight. But for any student that missed it, and then see how it just opened up, and then you can just press play, okay, and then you'll hear that video. Um, so every week there will be videos and that you watch, and see how it says, where is it? Watch and take notes. See that? So what you'll want to do is kind of have a notebook, paper ready, and I would write down the title of it as multiplication and division. And then from there, what I would do is I would on that page start taking notes as you're watching the video. And the nice thing about a video is that you can start and stop it, and watch it as many times as you like. And by the way, if you didn't know this, there's a little settings. Since my videos are all on YouTube, you can actually speed it up or slow it down if you want. And then if you want as well, you can request, and I can figure out how to do this. I can change it so that there would be like, how you'll listen to someone speak and then the words are at the bottom of the screen, like watching the news. It'll be in Spanish and or several other languages as well. But if that was helpful, I can arrange the settings so that that's helpful, so that you can read what I'm saying in Spanish. But um, so that's all the videos, right? So every week there'll be a video. You watch them, you take notes, and then the next thing I'll show you is the homework. Okay, and every week there'll be homework in my class, which is you take notes on the concepts and then you do the homework showing that practicing the concepts. Okay, so it says to label your document, and that's either a Microsoft Word or a Mac Pages or a Google Doc. Um, Preferably, hopefully you can use one of those on your computer. Now, if those words, you're looking at those and go, I don't have no idea what those words mean, Microsoft Word or Mac Pages. Ask somebody you know that understands computers, or send me an email. And if there's nobody in your life that you could ask, but they'll understand that, and they'll explain whether or not you have that on your computer. Okay. Um, and then it tells you with your name, the class, and the assignment in the upper left-hand corner. Clearly label each assignment and problem number, and then give the answers only. Okay. And what I also included was, and I'll click on this just so you can see this here. Um, I included kind of a model of see how I headed the paper here, my name at the top, name of the class, week 1 homework, and then I label it really clearly, assignment number 1, because it'll say assignment 1 in your, I'll show you in a moment. And then you see how each problem 1, 2 through 6 is numbered, and I just gave the answers, okay? Assignment 2 and 15, 16, 17, 18, it looks like I just had to do those ones, just gave the answers. So that's what you're gonna do. You can continue like that for your homework. So if you have a question, what am I supposed to make it look like for the teacher? You can just click on that and I'll go back to it so you can look and see where that was again. So we're right here, right there. Let me click on this. And come on, computer. It's being slow, which is interesting. Oh, maybe it didn't see me. Okay, so that's the model. You can look at, see how it looks. Now, see how it says right here, do these problems only? So for your homework, you're going to do assignment 1, just the first 6 problems only. Assignment 2, the last 6 problems only. That's probably why the numbers went from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 13 something, 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 okay? So it'll tell you the name of the assignment, which you will put on your document, and then which problems you're going to do. So they're all right there, okay? Now, you're probably going, teacher, where actually are those assignments? Okay, so you see how I just scrolled right down? It's right here, okay? So what I'm going to do is click on it and show you. We're just kind of giving you a guided tour here at the beginning of class, what this looks like. All right, so what it is, to be honest with you, when I look at this, it's what's called a PDF. I always click on this little arrow here, and then I click download, and I'll show you why. I'll show you why here in a second. It downloaded, if you can see my screen, to the bottom left of my screen here. When I open it from there now, I'm going to click on it, okay? It's bigger. You'll see right away that, see how it's big, it's bigger on the screen, okay? Easier for me to look at. And what I'm going to do is scroll down. Usually there's some kind of a review, which is what we're going to be doing tonight in a moment, just kind of showing you the concept. But what I want to scroll down to is, oh, what just happened here? I'm going to have to move this down here. All right, I'm going to keep scrolling. So it'll show you how to do this, do stuff. And then you see right here where I'm circling with my pointer here, assignment 1. That's what it meant when I said assignment 1, you do the first 6 problems. So you would do 1 through 6, okay? Now, all the way through 6, see that? All the way through 6. I'm going to scroll down, and it tells you some more about how, how to do multiplication with 2 digits. Gives you some examples. Keep scrolling down. There it is, assignment number 2. And I think it said do the last 6 problems or something like that. So you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these last 6 problems. Well, probably these ones right here. So anyway, that's how you find assignment 3, assignment 4. That's what it means when it says, yeah, I can go. So when it says to do these assignments right here, okay, do all these assignments, that's where they're at. You just click on this. I would download it, or I'll be honest with you, for efficiency's sake, this is what I would do. Okay, I'll just tell you, this is what I would do. I would take my cursor like this, and I would copy it. You know, if you don't know how to copy something on your computer, I'm on a Mac, so it's Command and then the letter C. I hold those both down together, but I would copy it and I would paste that to my document. So I have right on my document all the name of all the assignments I have to do and which problems I have to do. And then I would kind of work from there. That's what I would do. If you want to just handwrite all these down and then type them on your document, that's fine as well. All right, so that's the homework that you'll have every week. I think pretty much every week. There's only 8 weeks, so this quarter goes fast. So you do that. Now, this is the way you do this. Now, I'm going to switch view here for a second. Let's see if I can change this here. Let me go down here to settings, and I'm going to change it so that I'm looking at it like I'm a student, because I want to make sure you Yeah, that's weird. Settings, course. Why am I missing this? Huh. Normally there's a way to for me to change it to look at the class like I am a student, but that's not showing up for some reason. I'm just must be missing it. Um, anyway, that is, oh, there it is right there at the top, student view. Okay, I just clicked on student view. And what you'll see here in a moment is, come on, for some reason it's being, okay, there we go. I'm going to go down to the homework for week 1 because I want you to see how this looks from your perspective, okay? So once you're all done typing up your homework, okay, and you're ready to turn it in, okay, this is where you're going to turn it in. Does it show? It's not showing for some reason. Usually it's right up here. It'll say submit. And that's where you'll click on submit. And then you will actually upload your document. Okay. Oh, it's down here now. They changed it. That's interesting. See how it's down here at the bottom here? So choose this. I'm just going to say upload. Okay. If I click on upload, okay. Now what you can do is if you had saved your document onto your desktop, you typed your homework onto a document, you can literally go to that document. If I move this out of the way, and I could drag it. My daughters were using my computer, so they were doing music here. I could literally just drag it and put it right into this box, and it would upload it, and then I would send it. Okay, so that's how you turn in your homework. All right. I'm just kind of curious, just out of curiosity. Sorry. Well, all right, forget that. Let's move on. So that's how you turn in your homework. Now, if there's a couple of you out there, I don't know who you might be, but if there's a few of you that you're going, hey, I've never done much on a computer, and that's all like document. What do you mean document? And what's Microsoft Word? And how do I submit something? And how do I upload something? That's where you're going to probably ask me in an email or ask somebody you know that's kind of techie. And you could show them what it said right here, and they could show, oh, this is what that means. And here, let's open up a document together and let's type your name on it, and you can get help that way. Okay. All right. After you do that, you're going to have a quiz. Okay. That you're going to take. In fact, well, it's okay. So the quiz is right here. So I'm going to click on the quiz, and when you're ready, by sometime this week, anytime this week by Sunday night, you can click on take the quiz. Okay. And if I just click on the quiz itself, what it'll do is the questions are going to be right here. So you just do the answers right here. Okay. 25 times 3. And you could do it on pencil. You'll do it on your pencil. Okay. You won't do it on a calculator. You're going to do it on a pencil. And then you'll click on the right answer, which everyone you think's the right answer. You go to the next question, 80 times 9. By the way, 8 times 9 is 72, and just add a 0. So I just gave you an answer. Anyway, you would click on whatever is the right answer. Okay. So that's how you would take the quiz. And that's pretty much how my class is organized every single week. Okay. So that's a little 10-minute, a little bit longer tour to kind of give you just kind of an idea how to do things in my course. All right. If you have a question right now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to write it down real quick, like how to do this. And then at the end, when I stop recording, please feel free to ask me that question. I can pop right back to this screen here, okay? All right, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna plug in my pen, and this is where it'd be good for you to have maybe a couple of colors of pen and also a paper, okay? So I'm gonna review some concepts and kind of talk you through some things here, okay? So, all right, let's see if this is gonna work okay. I think it should. Yay, the pen's working. All right. So the first thing I'm going to start with is actually, I don't even know if it's part of our content, but I wanted to start with subtraction. And there's a reason why I wanted to do this. Because in case that came up with something, you were doing a problem, you had to subtract something first and then to get an answer. I just wanted to make sure that the basic subtraction is you always have the bigger number on top and the smaller number underneath. Okay. And then it's just remembering how to borrow, basically, is the concept I wanted to review real fast. 9 can't subtract from 7, so I'm gonna cross out the 3 and make it a 2. I'm gonna bring over my 1, and now I've got 17 minus 9. Okay, 17 minus 9, which gives me an 8, and I have nothing being subtracted from the 2, so I just bring it down. Okay, so that's the concept again of borrowing. If I jump over to the next problem here, I'll call this number 2 here. 6 can't subtract from 5. I'm going to borrow from the 4, make it a 3, bring over 1. 6 or 15, 6 from 15 is 9, and 1 from 3 is 2. Okay. All right. And then the last one, just to kind of go through here, is what do you do in a situation where you got 3,000 minus 129 here, and you got zeros up here? You can't borrow from 0. So what you'll have to do in a situation like that is you go all the way till you find a number that's not 0. Cross it out, make it a 2, bring over the 1. Now it's 10, right? Okay, hopefully I'm not going too fast here. I'm going to cross it out, make it a 9, bring over the 1. Now that's 10. Cross it out, make it a 9, bring over the 1. Okay, now I can subtract because I now have 9 from 10. Okay, I'm subtracting 9 from 10. 1, 2 from 9 is 7. 1 from 9 is 8. And nothing over here from 2 just gives me 2. Okay, so that's a real quick review of basically subtracting and borrowing. I don't even know if it's in the content for what you're doing this week, but I wanted to just kind of hit on that real fast. Let me see here if I can get this out of the way and turn to the next slide. There we go. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about just a review, hopefully, of multiplication. And this is where I'm going to stop and give you a quick commercial, okay? So, and here's my quick commercial for you guys. Times tables, okay? These things right here called the times tables, okay? Now, very often in my class, I have students that get in this class who don't know their times tables, or it's been so many years that they kind of remember like through like 3 times 3 is 9. But after that, it starts getting fuzzy, or they forget the 9s and the 7s and the 8s, but they kind of know some before. It's going to, well, let me draw you a little quick picture here. Okay. This is my amazing artwork. Okay. You guys can probably recognize what that is. That is a quality pair of sunglasses there. Okay. Now, here's what happens to many, many math students when they get to a certain level, and it's about the year they started introducing fractions and starting working with fractions. If they haven't learned their times tables yet, or if you hadn't learned them yet when you started to do fractions, and then they started asking you to do things and you felt lost, okay, it's because you didn't have these. Okay, I'm holding them up on the screen here that's at the bottom here. You didn't have the magic glasses, okay? The magic glasses to mathematics are your times tables, okay? Literally, once you know your times tables, you start seeing things in math that you couldn't see before. You're kind of blind to them before, okay? And I'm going to prove it to you right now. I'm going to write the number 12 on the board, okay, on the screen over here to the right here, okay, upper right-hand corner. If I don't know my times tables, all I see is the number 12, but it has a 1 and a 2. Okay, that's all I see. I don't have the glasses to see anything more. But if I have my glasses, okay, I'll call them my magic glasses, I see some other things underneath it. I realize that that's 1 times 12 gives me 12. It's 6 times 2 gives me 12. And it's 3 times 4 gets me 12. All of these combinations here, they all get me to 12. They're all what's called factors of 12, okay? Now, with the magic glasses, I don't just see 12. In my brain, underneath it, I see, it's like an iceberg. If this is as close as I'm going to get to blue water here. if this was the water of the ocean here, okay, and this is the little bit of the iceberg that's sticking up from the ocean here is the number 12. Without the glasses, all you see is 12. But with the glasses, you see everything that's underwater here also. Okay, it's in your brain. Um, and that's why it's so important that you start learning your times tables. Now, let me make it easy for you, or as easy as possible. If you have a cell phone, then you can get a free app. Just type in, wherever you search for apps for your phone, or have somebody that knows how to do it, times tables right here, times tables or learning times tables. And there'll be a whole bunch of them for $2 and $3 and free. And try a couple that are free, or try one, pick one that, and it'll be basically on your phone. It'll be like flashcards. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Everything times 1 is itself. Okay. And you will, that's the easiest way to learn your times tables, is to go to the dollar store and for $1 get flashcards, math flashcards, or get an app for your phone, whichever you think you're going to use best. Um, and then when you learn your times tables, don't do it randomly, like 6 times 7 is 42, 3 times 4 is 12. No, don't do it like that, because you'll never remember. Okay, you'll never remember it that way. The way to do it is for you to do one number at a time. Do 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 5, and do all the twos all the way so you get all the twos in your brain up to 12. 2 times 12 is 24. And make sure you get all the twos in order, one at a time, kind of stair stepping up. Okay. Then once you got the twos, go on to the threes. Or if you already know them all the way through fives, but you forget 6, 7, and 8s, then start with the sixes and go on systematically. 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 3. Do it that way, and you will remember it so much better, so much more quickly. Okay. Then doing it random doesn't stick in the brain. All right. So that's my little stop commercial here about times tables. But you will need that for, especially when you get into the next class, and it'll help with this class, and then the class beyond that. Without the times tables, you can't really look at fractions and start reducing them, which we're going to get into real fast here, actually in this class as well. So, all right. Having said that, that's my little commercial. Let me talk to you a little bit about multiplication. Okay. I've got 56 times 5. So just in review here, when you're multiplying, you take the first number on the far right. Okay. Like, see how there's 2 numbers here? I take the first number at the bottom right, and you're going to multiply it one at a time times everything at the top. So if I go over here, I'll do it 5 times 4, then 5 times 3, then 5 times 2. Okay. So let me walk you through 56 times 5. Okay. I'm going to do 5 times 6. Now, because I have the glasses over here, I know it's 30. So I'm going to put the 0 here and the tres up here. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to do 5 times 5. And I know that that's 25. Now, if you don't know your times tables, you can Google it or ask me for one, and I'll send you one. It's like one page that has all the answers to all the times tables on it. It'll show you, like in a chart, all the answers. And so sometimes printing that out and having that with you, if you don't know your times tables, that's the best way to kind of cheat your way through until you know your times tables. Okay. So then I do 5 times 5 is 25 right here, but I add the 3 over here, 26, 27, 28. All right. And there's my answer. Okay. So I did one step at a time. Now, this next one is a 2-digit times 3 digits here. Okay. Notice I have the smaller number on the bottom every time. When you multiply, always have the smaller number on the bottom, and the same when you subtract. Okay. So I told you to start at the far right here and multiply that number times everything up above. Okay. So 5 times 4 is 20. 0 goes here. 2 goes up here. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 is 16, 17. The 7 goes here, and the 1 goes here. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. All right. Now, this is the step that becomes so critical. I would erase everything you just did up here because otherwise it's going to confuse you. So I took my eraser and I erased that. Okay. Now you're going to multiply the second number times everything up here in order to the right, that one, and that one. 2 times 4 is 8. Now I want you to pay real close attention right now, really paying attention. Where did I put that 8? Notice 2 times 4 is 8. Notice I didn't put it over here. I put it underneath the number I'm multiplying, okay? Or I skipped a number. Depends on how the teacher wants to say that. But I put it right under the, see how the first digit was right under the 5, the next one's right under the 2, okay? 2 times 3 is 6, and then 2 times 4 is 4. All right. I've now done everything that's underneath here. I've multiplied all the numbers, so I'm just going to draw a line, add them all up, okay? And 15, carry the 1, 6, 8, and a 5. Okay, so that's long division, all right? I'm sorry, long multiplication. And again, it should be review for you at this point in this class, but our first module is kind of reviewing multiplication and division, okay? We used to have in this course at the college, we used to have a TS 50 class, and that's where we learn how to do all this. Now they're kind of testing you into this and hoping that you know how to do all this. But the next one I'm not going to do, but I'm going to model for you where I would put the numbers. Okay, I would go like this. Probably have about that many. Okay, then for the next row, 2 times 4, it would be like this. Okay, I'm just kind of showing you visually that this is what it would look like. And then the third row, 3 times 2 is 6, and it would skip a row here. Notice that it's all my X's here. And then I would add up everything, adding them all up, okay? But you'll notice, if I change color and go with the red here, that the 6, the first row is right under the 6. The second row is right underneath the 2. And the third row is right underneath the, what happens to be a 3 in this case, okay? We're skipping a row each time. We're kind of skipping a space there each time. Some math teachers tell you to fill in with zeros here. I never did. I just understood. It just seemed like extra steps. But if that helps you visually, if that makes sense to you to fill in with zeros, by all means, fill in with zeros, okay? All right. This is probably the one page tonight. And how are we doing for time? We're doing great. Where for a lot of us, it may have been so many years since you did long division, all right? So now I'm going to say something that's going to kind of almost contradict everything I just said about wearing the magic glasses here, okay? But it doesn't really, because especially when you get to fractions, you need these magic glasses that I'm drawing, okay? It's a good idea to have a calculator, okay? To get a calculator, and that way you can always check, did I do that right? And I can punch it in my calculator. Oh yeah, I got the right answer, okay? As you get into TS 70 next quarter and TS 76, which I'm going to be teaching in the fall, I've got a couple of those classes, especially in 76 and everything beyond that in math, 86, everything college math, they let you use a calculator for everything. That means for the test, for the homework, for everything. You get to just punch everything into a calculator. And so the reason I'm kind of telling you that now is because I think as an adult learner, I would appreciate knowing that, hey, I'll do the best I can in the 60 class and hopefully I'll learn my times tables and stuff. But when I start getting into some of the more advanced classes, I'll be able to use a calculator. And so I won't have to have everything all perfectly memorized, but I will have to know how to use a calculator, okay? Now, having given you that wonderful comment, let me talk to you about couple of things about long division here, okay? And so what I'm going to do is see if I can move my, select this. What does this do? It's not letting me do it. Oh, yeah, there it goes. I just moved myself out of the way here. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about long division. So let me give you a moment to do this, okay? I think I'm going to pause my recording. What I want you to do is go ahead and copy down everything you see. If you're watching this recording, everything you see on the screen, okay? If you're here live with me right now, just copy down this problem right here and these steps down here, okay? So let me just take a moment. See if I can pause. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys can't hear birds in the background chirping. Yeah, I've got birds in the background chirping. So let's talk about long division. Okay, let's talk about what a couple of things are called first. Okay, when I'm dividing 3 over here into 57. This thing over here is called the divisor. Okay, and this part of the equation that we're dividing into is called the dividend. Now, it almost sounds like what it is to divide into something, right? To divide in dividend. It almost sounds like it. So divisor and dividend, the divisor is the number you're dividing into the other number, okay? And if I wrote, say, over here, 25 divided by 5, okay, in this case, I'm dividing 5 into 25, okay? So now 25 is the divisor and 5 is the divisor and 25 is the dividend, okay, being divided into. So that's just a little language. You will not be tested on that, but just as you hear those words coming up from here on out, just to help you. All right, steps. Here's the steps to long division. You're going to divide, multiply, and subtract. And you see how I have brackets around this like this, okay? You repeat these 3 steps over and over again until you're done with the problem, unless you need to borrow and bring down something, which is why it says step 4 is to bring down one number if needed. Okay, that's if you need to, which I think we probably will here, and I'll show you what that means. But these really are the initial 3 steps. Divide, and you put the answer on the top. Then you multiply. I'll show you what that means. You put the answer on the bottom, and then you subtract. Then you go back to dividing, multiply, and subtract, okay? So listen to how I do this. I got my divisor here. I'm going to divide 3 into the first digit, okay? Will 3 divide into 5? In this case, yes, it will. How many times does it go into 5? 1 time. It says I'm supposed to put the answer on top, okay? So I put the 1 right above the 5 because that's what I'm dividing it into. That's really important, okay, where you put that number. Go down to step 2 is to multiply and then put my answer on the bottom. Now, here's what you're going to multiply. You're going to multiply the answer you put up here times the divisor. 1 times 3 is 3, and I'm going to put the answer on the bottom, just like it says, answer on the bottom, okay? All right. Step 3 is to subtract. So you're going to draw a line. Go ahead, if this has been a while for you, just draw a line on your paper, and then you could put a little minus sign if you wanted here. Subtract 3 from 5 is 2. All right. I'm going to go back to step 1. It's to divide. I'm going to divide 3 into 2. Okay. Now, how many times will 3 go into 2? It won't. See how 2 is smaller than 3? So in this case, I need to bring down the 7. So I'll bring down my 7. Will 3 go into 27? Yes. How many times? All right, because I know my times tables. I've got these magic glasses over here that allow me to know it in my head. I know that 3 goes into 27 9 times. 3 goes into 27 here 9 times. And it says to put your answer on the top. So the 9 goes right here. Step 2 is to multiply. It says I'm supposed to multiply and put my answer on the bottom. So I take my 9 times 3 is 27. Put the answer on the bottom. Step 3 is to subtract. And if I subtract, I get zeros. I've done everything. I've brought down the last number. I'm all finished. Yeah, 3 goes into 57 19 times. And I could check that by multiplying 3 times 27 or punch it into a calculator to check and see if I got 19. Okay. All right. I'm not going to do all of these. I'm just going to show you that I'll get you started with number 2 here. So I'll give you a couple seconds to copy this one down. And again, the 3 steps are divide, multiply, and subtract. And you keep repeating those steps. So the first step is I'm going to ask myself, now listen to how I think through this, because it's important that you think like this. Will 4 go into 2? Okay, I'm dividing into the first digit here. It won't, because 2 is smaller. Okay, will 4 go into 28? Yes. Okay, how many times is 4 going into 28? 9 times 4, well, 9 times, 4 times, let's see, 4 times 7 is 28. Okay, 4 times 6 is 24. Is that right? What am I doing? Why does it seem funny to me? Yeah, 28 times, 4, no, 3, 28, 14, yeah, 28. All right, so now I put the answer on the top, 7. So I said, I divided first, put the answer on the top. Now, I want you to notice real carefully here where I'm going to put a box around it just for emphasis. Where did I put that 7? I put it above the 8 because I'm dividing into the whole number of 28. It's really important you put it there, okay? Step 2 says I'm supposed to multiply and I have to put my answer on the bottom. I multiply the number on top times the divisor, I get 28. Step 3 is to subtract, you'll get zeros here. Step 1 again is to divide. Will 4 go into 0? No, it won't. So now I have to bring down the 6. Will 4 go into 6? Yep, it goes into it 1 time. Step 2 is to multiply the number on top times the divisor and get a 4. Step 3 is to subtract and get a 2. And I've now divided into all the parts here. See how I divided into all the parts of the number? So I really have 71, and some teachers would say you just put a remainder, R for remainder 2, okay, as your answer. 71 R2, remainder 2, means that you have 2 remaining down here at the bottom, just because we've gone through all 3 numbers in our division, okay? I know I'm going kind of fast here, but you have the luxury of being, by the way, I'll send you this video, in about an hour after class, after I get it uploaded to YouTube, if you want to watch it some more. Now, I wanted to show you a 2-digit example here. I'm going to show you a little magic trick here. How do you divide 25 into 47? How would you know how many times, let's say you didn't know how many times it goes into 27, okay? What you can do is when you're dividing longer digits into longer digits, you ask yourself, will 25 go into 4? No. Will it go into 47? Well, I happen to know that it won't, because 25 times 2 is 50. So 25 does not divide into, well, actually it does. It goes into 1, excuse me. It will divide into 47 one time. But here's my little magic trick. I could take my fingers, okay, my magic fingers on my paper, if I had it written out on paper, and I could cover up with my finger the 7 here and the 5 here, okay? So if you can imagine that the 5's covered up with a finger and the 7's covered up with a finger, because I'm trying to figure out how many times 25 goes into 47. If I cover up that 5 and that 7, the only thing that's left is a 2 and a 4 that's showing. And you go, well, how many times does 2 go into 4? Oh, 2 times. And so you can try the 2 up here. You can go, okay, it goes into it 2 times. Now, I happen to know that that's going to be too much, because 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1, this is 50 right here. Like, see how this 50 is greater than 47? So that's too much. So what I would do is take my eraser and I would just erase this on my, it's always good you should always do math in pencil. Always do math in pencil, okay? And then I would move it down to a 1. I tried 2 and that was too much, and so I'd use a 1, okay? Let me just write another one. 314 into 9,758, okay? And if you go, and I don't think we'll have too much, anything like this long, but what I could do is 314 doesn't go into 9, doesn't go into 97, but it goes into 975. If I wanted to figure out how many times 314 goes into 975, I could take my magic fingers, okay, right here. on my paper and cover up the last 2 digits, okay? So what I could do is I could cover up the 7 and the 5 with my finger and the 1 and the 4 here with my finger. And look what I have less. I have a 3 and a 9 left. How many times does 3 go into 9? It goes into it 3 times. So I could start with a 3 here and see if that works. And if I get an answer down here that's bigger than 975, then I know that 3 is too much and I would erase it and make it a 2, okay? But that's one kind of magic trick to help you when you do long division like that, okay? All right, having said all that, that's just kind of showing you how to do long division. So in case all the computers go out and all the calculators don't work anymore and you're working at McDonald's or you're working at a restaurant or you're working at a clothing store and there's no computer and you have to figure out how to do things on hand, it'd be really nice to know how to do, if I go back to my previous slide, long multiplication, multiplying $234 times $25 or, some division, okay? So that's part of why we're reviewing these concepts in this course, in this TS60 class. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is say goodbye to anybody that happens to be watching recording, and please ask if you run into any questions. And so I'm going to stop my recording.